through social media, and I want to show you, because somebody reached out to me a little while ago and said, do we really need this? Like, is this really going to do something for us? Or is it another way for people to kind of just get caught up and waste time on social media and stuff like that? And I said, I don't think you understand how important this tool is and is going to be for our business. And I'm going to show you a couple slides that I think will help explain it. Since I've been in the business in 38 years now, and since 1988, I've recruited a lot of people into business, and there's one question everybody has on their mind when you recruit them, whether they say it or they don't say it. They want to know, where am I getting my leads? Where am I getting my leads? Where am I getting my clients? How's that going to happen? And, and the last thing they want to hear us say is, well, we're going to get a list of friends and family. We're going to go hit them up. Although, we found a lot of different ways to say that sounded a little bit better than that. But at the end of the day, I wonder how many recruits we have lost, how many people we have lost because maybe they didn't get traction with their family and friends. Maybe they didn't see results in the beginning and they couldn't figure out a path on, where am I getting clients when I run out of people to talk to, or if the people that I know are not interested. And so this solves that problem. My solution is simple. We run a referral-based business. I tell everybody that I recruit right now, listen, all of our advisors, all of our experienced people work off of referrals. The big challenge is getting the thing off the ground so that it becomes a referral generating business. And so we're referral based, but we're social built. And so here's the way it works. We provide a world-class CRM. When you join with us for that $25 a month, one of the things that you're going to be provided is a world-class CRM. And the CRM is not just a tool. The CRM is going to be the control center of your business. All your communication, all your clients, all your prospects, everything is going to roll through that CRM. And not only do we provide you with a world-class CRM, we also provide you with an automated lead generation system that will help you fill that CRM. And that's what's really exciting about this, because especially for Gen Z, millennials, who live their entire lives in the social universe, we now have a way for them to effectively mine their social media activity and turn it into potential leads for us. So we provide you with a proprietary lead generation system that converts your social media activity into a consistent flow of high quality prospects delivered directly into your CRM. And so it's going to turn your online presence into a predictable client and recruit acquisition engine. And, and this is what I show, everything is going to roll eventually through your CRM, and your appointments will come out of that, where you're going to get clients, you're going to build advisors and build your business out of that. And in the beginning, it's going to be seeded. Your CRM is seeded with your personal contacts using our Primerica app. But then on top of that, we're going to start engaging our lead generation system to automatically deliver quality contacts into your CRM. And then one day, as you build your business, referrals eventually kick in. And so as I met, our whole focus really is to try and help you feed this pipeline of activity so that you can get new client appointments on a steady, regular basis. And this lead generation system is going to be a big part, not of just helping you get more contacts and convert your social activity into leads, but also to help you recruit people who have forever been asking that question, where am I getting clients? Where am I getting recruits? Where am I getting leads? I don't know how many people have said to me, do you supply leads? Do you give me clients? And so I think that, frankly, we've lost a lot of people because we couldn't answer that question effectively. Now we have an incredible solution. your own automated lead generation system that will build your CRM while you sleep. And so, anyway, I'm super excited about this. I want to thank Susan and Monica and Beth and all of the team there, because once we showed this to Susan, she's like, "Leave it with me," and she went and built it, and we owe her the credit. So, thank you, Susan, and I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thanks so much, Brad. All right, let's go to Mika. Mika, this is like a mindset shift and how people need to think about social media, right? Because people are so used to just blasting posts out there, just broadcasting. How is it? How are things different?
Yeah, I 100% agree. First of all, with everything that you've stated and also everything that Brad has stated, he had the amazing visuals. And so I absolutely love that. I believe that the phrase mindset shift is exactly right. You know, people are so used to just being on social media for personal reasons and just mindlessly posting and just scrolling. And this is a huge opportunity for everybody. If you have not been maximizing on social media and using it as a platform for you to grow your business, this is the excuse you needed to do exactly that. Right. And so I want you to understand that you got to make that mindset shift. I have been using social media to build my business since, when I first came into the business. And back then, we didn't have the tools that we have now, right? I joined in 2014 and I was DMs and, reaching out to people. What I love most about this is that it allows us to go ahead and just put great content out and the people come to us. Right. And so, primarily we're hunting, we're looking, we're farming, and we're still going to do those things. But this is just another tool for us to go ahead and build our business. And so, as you all are hearing and listening to this information, I want you to be thinking about ways that you can utilize this tool. I truly believe that there's so many people on here that are listening that are going to be able to maximize and grow their business, multiply their business in ways that you would have never imagined. And so think about, less about posting. It's not so much about just posting. It's going to be more so about you building those relationships. When you do start with a post, it's going to then be about capturing that person's information, right? We do top 25 lists, we get referrals, we do those things. But now, when it comes to this tool that Susan's going to break down, you're going to be able to generate leads by making a post, but then them giving you their information, right? These contacts raising their hand saying, "Hey, pick me. I want to talk to you." So you capture that information, but the key is going to be really about the follow up, right? You making sure that you keep in contact with those people so that you can then convert them to clients. You can convert them to agents. You can now make them a part of your world. And one thing that I know is that I sign up for these capture pages, for other businesses all the time, right? Sometimes I'll just put my information in because I'm not ready to buy now, but I know I'm ready to buy like maybe later, something I'm interested in. And so the fact that we're going to be able to continuously nurture these new contacts, and maybe they won't become clients or recruits today, but maybe it'll be in 6 months and 7 months. It's going to allow us to truly have a more predictable business. And so just understand that this is powerful. And I truly believe that it's going to transform our businesses in a great, great way.
Great. Thanks, Mika. That's fantastic. All right, so we already have a lot of questions coming through the chat. I'm going to go back ahead and I'm going to go right into sharing this information about how this is going to work. But I'm going to do one better. I'm going to go back to step one. I'm going to share step one with you again. Some of you are asking. Thanks for asking the questions. Authenticate first. Go to POL or your Pry app. Hit the button that says turn new conversations and prospects automatically. Scroll down and stand by. I'm sharing the wrong screen. Hold on. Sorry about that. Scroll down on POL and then you will be able to access Price Social. Log in using your POL credentials, and you'll be authenticated. All right. So now let's go to step two. All right. Step two, after you've authenticated, you're going to go to either the App Store or Google Play. And we have coincidentally put these QR codes so you can scan them and get directly into the app. Download the app, enter in your POL credentials, and stand by because pretty soon at the end of this, you're going to be able to send your first automated lead gen campaign. All right, now we're going to get into the whole program. So I want you to think about it from this way. People don't wake up wanting financial products. They do wake up wanting solutions. And so we want to equip you to be able to provide them with valuable information that can help them solve a real problem. And that's a lead magnet. Now, the term lead magnet is a standard digital marketing term. And so you need to familiarize yourself with it because that is one that we're going to be using all the time when we talk about these valuable resources. So what these valuable resources do is they actually create a natural reason for someone to want to continue the conversation with you. Look at our research. 82% of consumers are more positive about a company after reading informational material, and 61% are more likely to buy from companies that provide information that are relevant to their needs. So these are valuable resources. And I want to show you what we have out there so far. We have already 3 lead magnets that are available in PriceSocial. They are available in English, Spanish, and French. And we are going to be posting a new lead magnet every other week. So you can see here the next one that's coming out later this month. Now, how do we come up with the ideas for these lead magnets? We didn't do it here in home office. We reached in to our field, to field leaders like Mika, to Brad, to people like Josh Payne and Cheryl Bartlett, and said, what are the things out in social that are working for you? What are the conversations that you're having? Where is the value that we can provide to people? And we created these lead magnets hand in hand with field leaders who have demonstrated success in using these very topics. So there was a lot of thought that went into it, and they're going to continue to work very closely with the field to develop these. And so the idea here, remember, we are not leading with a pitch. We are leading with value, and it opens up conversations for you. All right, so let's go ahead and we are going to now talk about the actual process. So I'm going to break this down further in future slides, but it's a very simple process. First, you're sharing a post from PriceSocial. You're going to open up, when you download that app, you're going to be able to open up the PriceSocial app, go to the automated lead gen category, share a post. That post is going to have a personalized link, and I'll talk more about that, that is going to lead to a lead capture page. The lead capture page is going to capture your prospect's information. We're going to be able to send that information directly to your CRM, and then an email is going to come from RMC with that information. The value that this is going to create for your business, it's going to give you a powerful tool to be able to fill your CRM with prospects. So let me go into the very specifics. So again, share the PriceSocial post, value focused posts that are going to start real conversations. You don't need to do anything. It's automated. It's going to populate with your personalized link using your solution ID. There's an example of the lead capture page. Every time the lead magnet is going to be featured right there, we're going to have unique pages for each lead magnet. And then it's going to go directly into your CRM once your prospect fills out the information. And then you can see there an example of the information that they're going to be sent. So it is very easy, very turnkey, but that's not where it stops, right? And so there has to be follow-up. There has to be work behind the scenes. And so I'm going to turn it over to Brad. Brad, can you talk to us about what follow-up actually looks like here?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I would say a couple things there. One is the lead will show up in your CRM and under social media lead gen. And it's really important that you figure out what to do with that lead. And that you reach back out to obviously they're going to receive the information automatically, but just like Mika said, we all sign up for content online. We're always putting our email into something. We know they're going to reach back out to us with something, an offer or more information to try and keep us there. Everybody expects that. It's the way marketing is done nowadays. You want to be able to do the same. So it might be that this person's interested in something specific. You can reach back out to them and say, hey, I'd love to be able to put you into one of the campaigns that you've got that you might be running in CRM. It's going to take a lot of touch points in some cases, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 touch points before the person converts, before you convert to a client or a potential recruit. So you can't just send a lead and then hope, or a lead magnet and then hope something's going to happen. The other thing I will say is don't look, don't look at my social media or Mika's and just share our post. You don't want to do that unless you want to just send us all the leads that come in from you sharing that. But you could go out to your family and friends that maybe aren't in Primerica and ask them, hey, do you mind sharing this post? I think it's something that would really help people out. So that way you can really expand the reach that your lead magnet is going to meet out in the marketplace. And especially for new recruits, when you get them starting to do this, get them to ask their family and friends to share the lead with for them. And then that will augment the amount of leads that are going to automatically come in and give them confidence as well. So it's really important that you follow up, because that's where the gold is. It's always in the follow-up.
Thank you so much, Brad. All right, Mika.
Yeah. So
Brad said it, like the talk, it's all in the follow-up, like real talk from Mika. What does that mean? Real work, right?
Yes, yes, I love that. I absolutely agree. I mean, I think there are some keywords that we continue to say, and one is follow up. You've heard all three of us mention follow up, right? We all know the fortune is in the follow up, and it's even more so when it comes to this. I love the fact that I also love the word automation, right? I love the fact that this is automated. And so the fact that they're automatically going to get the lead magnet after they've requested it, all we have to do is follow up, right? How easy is that? And, it's like this business continues to get easier and easier and easier. And hopefully it doesn't make us lazy. Okay. It doesn't make us lazy, right? So now you just have to see, okay, where do I have to put my focus now? So instead of having to go out and just do the business only the way that we've been doing it, now the energy has to go more so on the follow-up. But I love the word follow-up. I want you to write that down if you have not. I love the word automation. Write that down as well. This is also going to allow all of us to have more credibility, right? People want to work with people that they trust, right? People that they know, like, and trust. And the fact that we are going to be giving them valuable tools that they can actually benefit from and use in their real life, you are building that credibility with the people who are watching you on social media anyway. And so it's very important, guys, that you are also very consistent with your posting, with your information that you are giving, because that's going to allow them to continuously come back to you. And so when we talk about following up, if you're continuously posting great material, you are continually using these lead magnets that the company is going to continue to put out. If you're continuously doing that, then you're going to be in their face. They're going to say, this person is consistent. This person is a professional. This person has some great information. I truly need to talk to this person. And so that is how you're going to really just build that relationship with the people as you continue to utilize social media in this way. Right? If your social media is not producing names, emails, and phone numbers, then you're not doing social media the right way. Right? If you're just on there just to post, just to kind of see the drama and the things that's going on in the world, then you are not doing social media right. Right? Make social media give you a profit by utilizing these tools that our amazing company has given us.
Thanks, Mika. I want to just continue that conversation with you. So tell me about, you do such a phenomenal job of this. You have a lot of personal things out there that you share. Like, what's the kind of mix, like percentage wise? What kind of mix do you suggest, personal versus business? Because you can't just post all business, right?
Yeah, I think that's a very important point. I believe that people, they want to see you as relatable, right? They want to see that they could, oh, this person is actually a real person. And again, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And so it's very important that every time you post, you're not posting asking for something. And so that's why I love this lead magnet so much, because we're not asking for anything, we're giving. And so I believe that you should really be posting and giving something. Maybe 5 out of the 10 times you're giving information, giving the lead magnet, giving, some great energy. And then you should add maybe a lifestyle post in there where you're just having fun. I post my kids, I post, my meetings and all the fun that I have as well. And then maybe on like that seventh or eighth time, you may post something saying what you have to offer, right? And so I believe most of the posting should be you giving as opposed to you trying to take.
Great. That's awesome. So, Brad, going to you on this. So, I share something in social. I share one of these automated lead gen campaigns to my fans and followers. Pick your platform, but no one's responding. What do you have any ideas for what I can do?
Well, I think there's a couple things. First of all, you need to build your community, your online community with purpose. My online community is pretty much all Primerica people following me, or some of the crazy storm chasers and stuff that I do, and photographers. And so and a lot of them are around the world, so they don't really apply. Like if I was starting today, I'd be focused on building my community with purpose. I wouldn't fill it all with Primerica people. I'd be building it with people that I can communicate with, because I want to brand myself. And I think that a lot, if you're thinking, man, I'm going to put this out here, and maybe that'll give me some appointments next week, probably won't. You got to understand what this is. You're basically fishing in a pond. And so you build your pond as big as you possibly can, and then you throw fishing, bait in there, and it might be, the budget worksheet, or it might be saving money on something, or it might be but it's all going to be delivering value into the marketplace, which is going to go a long way to branding you as a money person. It's going to help brand you as the kind of person that delivers value and that you can trust, and eventually people begin to see you as a financial person who they can ask questions to, and refer you to. And then that's where all of this is ultimately going to pay off. And so we're going to continue to deliver. Like I look at it, like if we're delivering a piece every 2 weeks, Susan, then every 2 weeks that's going on my social media. So that'll be one of my pieces that go every 2 weeks. I know, like clockwork, a new piece is going to be uploaded, and that'll generate some activity. And just so everybody knows, we've got teams of people, that are very high-end users of social media. You know all their names, and those are the people that are going to be delivering the kind of content, the graphics, and the content that we want, because we're going to help you build your CRM.
And they are very vocal, Brad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very vocal. So, which is very helpful for us here at home office. Mika, so you demoed this tool when we first launched.
Yeah, I did. And
Right? What happened?
it was great. It was great. So I was super excited to demo it, and I did the post and the link, and I got 21 people who opted in for me to contact them. And that was just within 24 to 48 hours. And so, and the crazy part is, when I looked at the names, I didn't even know any of the people. So I don't know if this allowed people who were not following me to see the link. I don't really know exactly how that happened, but I communicate with a lot of people on my social media, but every single person that opted in, I did not know any of them. And so it allowed me to kind of broaden my market and truly be able to get in touch with people that I would have never, contacted or prospected manually. And so I absolutely love that. And so, Susan, one of the things I'm talking to my team about is like keeping conversations going. How many conversations can you have? At least 100 conversations going at all times, right? So just from this one tool, this one lead magnet, that was 21 more conversations that I added to my pipeline, right? And so the more conversations that we have open and going, then the more business and production that we're going to be able to do, and the bigger our business will be. And so I definitely had some great success from the tool the first time.
That's awesome. That's so great to hear. We were so excited. We were so pumped when that happened. Hey, Brad, so who is this? Like, so you guys are experienced, you've been in the business a while, you're our senior leaders, but what if you're new to the business, or you've been in the business a year or so? Like, who is this for? Who can benefit from this?
Well, it's really for that new person. We want to help you brand yourself so that you can stay out of compliance's radar. All of us know what that means, and and especially honestly, if we've constantly want to lower the age of our average advisor in our base shops in our business, which means recruiting 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds and like we all were when we came into the business, and today they live in different kind of worlds than we grew up in, and so this is very attractive to that generation that we want to come into Primerica. We want to give them a platform or a way for them to capitalize on the social media community and activities that they do so that they can turn that into results. And I know some people have posted in the Q&A, well, the logarithm, the algorithm, restricts the reach and stuff like the true. But if you get your friends to share, it's going to reach out more and more. And here's one thing, like Mika said, and I love it. It's what Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this all the time about, hook, or jab, right hook, which means deliver value to the market. That's what we do. If you just keep delivering value to the market, that is the new way of attracting clients into a sales business. And so, we're going to give you the resources to be able to do that. And you just have to be patient and do it. It takes a long time. And listen, I got to be honest with you. I was on MPI this morning saying this. The beginning of your career here is going to be a grind. I hate to say it. It is what it is. You're going to have to put a lot of effort. This is one path. This is one of the pipelines that will help you fill your CRM. But then you have other ones, field training and B2B and referrals and all of the other things that are designed. This is just one of them. But this will help you to attract people into the business who maybe don't have a lot of contacts or don't have a lot of credibility in their market to see, hey, I can build a whole new client base, a whole new potential market online with the tools that Primerica offers.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So I want to unlock the secret. So we talked about follow-up, right? What do you say to these people when you're following up? So is it, I saw you downloaded the spending tracker? How are you having, either of you can take this question, but how are you initiating those conversations?
Mhm. Yeah, I'll go first. The first thing, anytime you are following up or contacting anyone, you always want to mention how you came into contact. And so, first I would just say, yeah, exactly that. Hey, how you doing, Brad? I see that you downloaded the How Money Works tracker. How's that going for you? Or did you find that valuable? And from there, they'll tell me whatever they tell me. And I may ask a simple question that we like to use. Okay, well, talk to me, Brad. How has the last 12 months treated you? Right. And then now from there, I can start to dig and find out information to see if I can help them in any way. And so I think, as we're building out this process, we will develop a system that we know absolutely works, but that's what's been working for us. And it's going to be kind of open-ended. And so you want to kind of just dig and see where your in is, because you never know what the person is going to say. And most people, honestly, when we ask them, how's the last 12 months treated you? It's usually, it's been rough. The economy isn't that great. I'm just trying to get organized with my finances. It's never like, oh, it's great. Right. And so anything that they say, guys, most times we are in positions where we can truly help them. Right. And so I believe those are the questions that we are using, and they are working. I'm sure Brad may use a different route as well.
No, it's pretty much the same as just reaching out, say, hey, we want to make sure you got it. Did you have any other questions? I will, say, occasionally I like to send this kind of valuable content of tips and ideas out to people that I know. Would you mind if I added you into my CRM, and so that I could communicate? I want you to know it's not spammy, and I'm not trying to sell you things. I just want to be able to deliver really good, valuable content that might give you tips and ideas on how better to manage your money along the way. And then that will open the door for me to have them on my CRM. I set up their birthday. I can set up their birthday thing if I can get that information, and holiday greetings and stuff like that. Also, Susan, I saw somebody ask, how do you deliver the link? Because, and that is important, because if the link is sitting in the caption, then some of the Facebook and stuff, they don't like you putting things out there that take people off their platform. And so, if you have to do that, just put the link in the caption. People can click on it, but it will reduce the algorithm. It'll reduce the amount of people that'll actually see the link. A better way to do that is to put the link in the first comment. And you can say, hey, look at the first comment, the link's there. You see that all the time on social media. Some people do that. That actually can get you a bigger reach. But the best way, if you see with Instagram, especially right now, what a lot of people do is they'll have that in there and they'll say, hey, if you want my valuable PDF or study or information, then just put a comment guide, or put a comment, send it to me in the back to me, and it'll send it out. And so that will actually, I believe, get you right now the biggest reach on social media if people are commenting back, hey, send me the guide or something like that. So you can always send the link to the people that comment, send me the link after, and that, I guarantee you, that'll get you a lot more reach on social media. So just a little tip there.
Yeah, I think that's excellent. And I do also want to share that the lead magnets themselves, you can get the PDFs of the lead magnets on POL. I'll show you the Lead Gen Hub in a second. And it'll be on the Lead Gen Hub and also on demand. We're going to be putting all 3 languages up there every other week. So for all of these, and currently we have 3, as I mentioned, up now. Okay, so we have a couple of other questions. I want to make sure that we get to them. I did have one question in the feed. Someone asked, one of our folks asked, where do you find the leads that go into CRM? So I will go ahead and take that one, guys. I know you already have experience in this, but so you go into your CRM, you go into, you go into RMC. You're going to see a list. It says custom lists. You're going to click on custom lists in RMC. You're going to be able to open up, you'll see social media lead gen. You'll go ahead and click on that, and then you'll be able to see all your leads. We've also included, because what Mika said in terms of the follow-up, you got to be able to reference what they asked for, right, to lead into that conversation, is if there will be a button there that you can actually click on the lead magnet to which you received that lead from, okay? So be sure that you're doing that. We also have some questions. We have some people that joined a little late, and they're asking for the tips because they want to be able to kick off their lead gen effort after this webinar. So I am going to go ahead and reshare, not my whole screen, guys, but I'm going to go ahead and share this again. All right. So we've got step 1. All right, so for those, I'm going to review this again. So for people who didn't hear me or are a little late to the webinar, whether you're on Price Social already, you have the app, or you don't yet have the app, haven't started using Price Social, we need everybody to go to authenticate, go to POL or the Pry app, click the turn conversations into prospects automatically, and then go ahead and click on the access to Price Social. I want to be sure that everyone is doing that. That's going to set you up for the people who are already using it or already in Price Social. That's going to you're going to enable you to authenticate to get the new features. We are iterating on this as we go. We've already made some updates to it, and there's more to come. So we're going to make this as seamless as possible for you. The other thing, let me go to step 2 here. So step 2, after you've authenticated, go ahead and download, or if you already have the app, you're all set, but go ahead and download the app. Here are your QR codes. You can go ahead and scan those. You agree to download the app, enter your credentials, agree to the disclaimer. And if you want to get started right after this webinar, sending out your first campaign, go straight into the automated lead gen category, and you're going to be amazed. It's going to auto-populate your unique URL, so you can go ahead and get started and start generating those leads. All right, I want to go ahead and I do want to also share, we'll take a couple more questions as we can, but I do want to share, we have established a whole new resource for you guys for lead gen. This is such an incredible effort that we've dedicated a whole area on POL to it. Not only are we outlining the process, we're giving you all the resources, and we are actually, for those of you that are attending today, we are going to email you out a resource packet. So be on the lookout for that. That'll go to the email that you registered with for the webinar. But you can also, if you want to get ahead of the game, you can go into the Lead Gen Hub on POL and go ahead and access the resources there. You can see the lead magnets are there. We're going to continue to populate that. Again, if you have any questions, if you go into the app and things aren't quite working for you, technology, can't figure things out, email us at socialmedia@primerica.com. So right now on here, and you guys are communicating, and we have about 5 of our teammates on here from the Reputation team actually answering your questions. This is a team that's here at home office to help you be successful, identify opportunities for leads. And so we want you to use this as a resource. And alongside that, as I said, if you have an idea for a lead magnet, go ahead and send it to us so we can consider it and look at if we can bring it to life for you. All right, so that's, and then finally, I do want to add this in too. This is important. We've only touched on the surface of Price Social, okay? So I want to be sure, and my screen went dark. I apologize for that. There we go. We can see that? Okay. Stand by, guys. Sorry, technical difficulties. We want to be sure that you're able to learn as much as you possibly can about Price Social. And so we just scratched the surface with this, right? We really focused heavily on lead gen. There's a lot more. And especially for those of you who are still new to social and even social media marketing, our Monica Mora, who is our field marketing manager, does an extraordinary training twice a month on using social media for your business. And so here's the June 3rd webinar. She's going to go through all the basics of how to use the Price Social app and some do's and don'ts on social media. So go ahead and scan that QR code. That information, in case you miss it, will also be on the POL homepage. All right, so I am going to stop sharing, and I am going to take a look for final comments from you, Brad, first.
So I'm reading some of the questions on here. Maybe
is that what you were laughing at?
Well, okay, so maybe Mika can answer some of this as well. But I've got people on here. They're frustrated with social media and the legal department telling them what they can't do, and people are really frustrated. We understand that. We get the letters too. Okay, so we understand that, but you have to understand, this is not Primerica making this. Because we're in the industry that we're in, and thank goodness for this industry, it pays us. This is an incredible industry that you're involved in. But because we're in this industry, we're also in a very regulated industry. We've got FINRA, we've got the SEC, we've got the FTC, we've got state and provincial regulators, all looking at everything that we're doing and how it reaches out into the marketplace. And so but we're also aware that social media is a gigantic part of our future and our business. And we want to be able to effectively mine social media and help you build your platform and build your business using social media. And so, we're trying to give you tools and resources that will allow you to really have great reaching content that is compliant. And believe me, we are meeting with the lawyers all the time. We're trying to educate them and help them and get them. Susan is amazing at getting things accomplished that I thought maybe we weren't going to get through, and we're going to get it through. So stay patient. Mika, one of the questions that people are asking in here, a few people have made comments. Should I set up a business page for this, or should I have it on my personal page? And maybe make a comment about, somebody said, well, what about, I do political comments. Should I have, and I'm like, I personally, I don't do any political comments on my social media. You immediately divide your market in half. It's so polarizing today. I know you have a strong opinion. So do I. Nobody will ever know my opinion. I don't deal with social issues that I agree with, disagree with. I don't put any of those on social media, because you immediately divide your market. And I think it's dumb to do that when you're in business. And so, Mika, maybe should people just set up a business page for this, or should it be part of their life?
Yeah. I'll just say what I do, and I do not have a separate business page. I don't need a personal page to do things like political posts. I'm just like you, Brad. I stay away from that. I can have those conversations off of social media. It doesn't need to be on social media. And so I would highly recommend you not do that. I do think that once you start to complicate it and you have a business page, a personal page, you're just doing too much. And it doesn't take all of that, right? The people buy into you as the brand first. Right? They buy into you as the brand. You are the business. And so your personal page is your business page. And so I operate just one page per platform, and I just mix it up, and I mainly post about business and adding value. And then I throw some lifestyle in there to show that I'm a real person. And I like to keep everything I do as simple as possible. And so I believe that that's what you should do. And also, as a point on the legal side, I think, there's a mindset shift that has to happen, right? Because trust me, I understand. Like he said, like Brad said, we've gotten the emails, right? But I had to have a mindset shift. Primerica's not trying to limit me, they are trying to protect me. And so once you have that shift and you say, oh man, FTC could find me, right? If I post the wrong things, I could get fined and I could actually have to pay that money out of my pocket. You mean Primerica's trying to protect me against that? Oh, I'm so thankful for that. Right? We're protecting our credibility as a company as well. That's what they're doing. And so there's a mindset shift that has to go around that. And so, before you even send questions to the home office, before you start to complain about things, go on POL, read about the social media, read the guidelines, learn about lead gen, go on and test it out, go make the post, go learn and test it out and actually do it. And then once you start to use it for a little while, then ask the questions. So, I know Susan said, here's the email, send questions, but how about you go do it first? You're not going to just figure everything out by asking questions and asking for information first. Go actually get hands on with it. Go do it. Go work the kinks out, then ask the questions. Okay. And so I think this is a beautiful opportunity for all of us. Thankful for our legal department, thankful for our company, thankful for Susan. And I truly believe that we're going to transform our businesses if we truly take advantage of this opportunity.
You guys, this has been really just absolutely fantastic. So what do we end with here? We've got the resources coming. We're sharing with people at social media. We're going to be using it to create those conversations, delivering value with lead magnets. So at the end of the day, it's like you don't even need more time. You just need a better system, right? And now you have one. And so that's what we've delivered here. So I really am grateful, Brad and Mika. You guys have spent so much time contributing and pouring into this effort. Thank you. And really appreciate all of you that attended. Resources coming. Check out POL, check out that lead gen hub, and go get some leads. Thanks, everybody.